So to see the younger generation getting into these vintage classic bikes and enjoying them as much as we did when we were kids is really, really a cool experience.
What do you got there? What do you got there?
What's happening, guys? This is Ken Kaplan. Kaplan Cycles outside of the New England Motorcycle Museum, and I've got a classic 1970 Yamaha DT250 Enduro. Quite a big story on this one. Kenny bought this from a collector in California and shipped it all the way across country at an expense of about $500 or $600. And when it came to us, it looked pretty much the way it does right now. The previous owner had painted the gas tank, the fenders, had put thousands of dollars of restoration services into it, the brand new front tire, the ignition. He had replaced the standard 6-volt ignition with one of the upgraded electronic ignitions at 12 volt, which is one of the best things you can do for one of these bikes. It makes it start easier, run better. It's definitely a little bit more horsepower because it's getting plenty of spark at the right time, and they're pretty much bulletproof. So the bike has been gone through top to bottom. We put about $1,000 worth of service on it here. I've got a work order in addition to what he had done. Again, new paint job, new seat cover, the rear tail light lens looks to be a NOS, brand new. The fenders have been painted, the shocks have been painted, the engine has been polished and painted, the exhaust system has been modified, the restrictive stock baffle has been removed, and the Wizard tuned the carburetor, did the jetting for this exhaust. So with the opened up intake with a nice air filter, stock air box, you can see he put a brand new, Wizard put a brand new filter in there. Take a look underneath the seat. This is always recommend looking at the bottoms of bikes too. Bottom of the seat looks in beautiful shape. It looks like it has brand new seat foam in there. These are notorious for having, not only did they do the seat cover, they're notorious to have the seat foam fall apart. Brand new cushy seat foam. Look at the air box here. The back of the air box has been opened up a little bit, and it's got a brand new foam air filter. This is the paperwork for the electronic ignition. The oil injector tank has been cleaned inside and out. All new lines on it, oil lines, fuel lines, brand new petcock. The tank has been restored on the external and also on the internal. So inside and out, the tank's brand new. The whole fuel system's brand new. The gas cap has nice chrome. The badges are new. The petcock, fuel lines, carb's been rebuilt. Engine has, the odometer is showing 1,532 miles on it, and it runs like a bike that's brand new. It runs better than it did new. Again, front brakes have been serviced and replaced. The front tires are brand new. The rear tires got maybe 100 miles on it. It's ready to go. The Wizard went through it, sorted everything out, in addition to what the collector out in California that had the bike had done. Still has a California plate on it. Junior, is there anything you'd like to add about these? I know you've been a big fan of these Yamahas for a long time.
Extremely difficult to find. 68 to 73 would be the most desirable years, the metal fender years, piston port, badge tank ending in 71. This 1970, it's a candy apple red. It was either this or a white one with a square swing arm, all original componentry. If you were to part this bike out, there are thousands and thousands of dollars worth of parts here. Just the front fender alone would go for $300. All original componentry. If you were to part this bike out, there are thousands. Our first one went for $10,500 2 years ago to John
the last
Bloodworth,
268s. Give him the sales numbers on the 268s we sold.
It's been on display in the museum for years, and he's going to get it running and go riding on it. The second one we just sold this past week for over $10,000 as well to a collector in the Northeast here. So these are absolutely going through the roof, and they were producing much fewer numbers than for say the 73 DT250, where they were pumping them out by 73 even before all the revisions.
Yeah, they only made 12,000 of these in 1968, and very few of those are survivors because they sold like hotcakes, and the guys used these. This is primarily built for off-road. It's an off-road style frame, lightweight, long travel suspension. It has over 8 inches of ground clearance, so they would strip them down and use them off-road, and a lot of them got destroyed and ridden into the ground. So to find one, a 50-year-old one like this, it's already restored, you can easily drop $5,000 on a restoration easily. The 68 AT1 that we just restored, it took us about 9 months between sourcing all the parts and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get it where it was. And, you know, it reflected that condition. It sold for $10,500. This one here is not quite as nice as the 68. The 68 we had was a concourse machine, but this is an awesome, this is an well done, excellent rider that you can roll into the museum if you want to display it or ride it on the trail, and it's going to be considerably less price than the 68. Those are commanding a premium. So if you're looking for one to ride, the 68s have become like unobtainium and too valuable to ride. This one's right on the cutting edge of that too, but do what you want with it. It's a classic that's only going to go up in value, so I'm going to take it for a ride. Is the GoPro on? I'm gonna do it. Want to do a drive-by? With a lot of the riding areas getting closed down, having a bike that you can legally take on the street that has got enough power like this one does, even with a passenger, you can take this down the trails, put your girl on the back, head to the beach. They're a lot of fun. They're super reliable, especially with electronic ignition. You're not going to have any problems with foul plugs or hard starting. The fire's right up and ready to go. Very good on fuel mileage, and it's like free transportation because this will not depreciate. This will go up in value, whereas you buy a new bike for 7, 8, 10 grand. As soon as you roll it off the lot, you knock off 30% on a $10,000 bike. You just wrote off $3,000 when the first time you take it on the street. These are awesome. If you've never been to Mid-Ohio, AMA has an event called Vintage Days in Lexington, Ohio. It's at the Lexington road race course. I think it's like a 500-acre facility, and it is like Sturgis for dirt bikes, Sturgis for vintage trail bikes like this. Literally 50,000 people show up, all the manufacturers show up, and this bike could be the grand marshal for that event. This is really what people like to go there and see, vintage quality trail bikes like this one. Very light and nimble, very easy to work on. Parts are readily available. Can't say enough good about these vintage Yamahas, that's for sure. And they have a style and a presence that surpasses the generations. You know, when Kenny was about 16, he started getting into, about 4 years ago, getting into collecting and restoring these. And he's owned a bunch of them. So to see the younger generation getting into these vintage classic bikes and enjoying them as much as we did when we were kids is really, really a cool experience. Just a lot of fun to ride, and that's really what it's all about, in my opinion. With the new electronic ignition, some things have been simplified. The rather than having the switch assembly, it just has a motocross style kill button right here, which less stuff to go wrong. So just a great running bike. If you have any questions about it, give us a call, 860-454-7024. Mechanically, it's all sorted out, ready for a summer of fun, or roll it into your private collection and just have the enjoyment of looking at it every day. Did you go over shipping options or anything like that?
Anywhere in the States inexpensively. Zip code for a quote.
I'm going to roll her back in the museum, so God bless America.